Chetan and Raj Gada, TNN, August 16, 2018, 22:15 ISTWASHI and GTON. Conflict between U.S. President Donald Trump and the country's liberal media and intelligence principals, dubbed the Deep State, worsened on Thursday after the White House revoked the security clearance of a former CIA director, served a warning to other former officials, and in a coordinated editorial campaign, more than 300 news publications across America denounced Trump's attacks on the press. Both actions were unprecedented in the country's history and pointed to a deepening crisis in the largely self-professed greatest country, greatest democracy in the world. In fact, in the middle of an increasingly toxic clash between pro-Trump Republicans and the liberal order that generally has had the upper hand in U.S. politics, one prominent Democrat, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, went so far as to say America was never that great as he mocked Trump's "Make America Great Again" campaign. The put-down caused Trump to deride Cuomo of having a total meltdown, even as the president himself continued to scorch the media and the opposition on Twitter, his medium to reach some 53 million followers. "There is nothing that I would want more for our country than true freedom of the press. The fact is that the press is free to write and say anything it wants, but much of what it says is fake news, pushing a political agenda or just plain trying to hurt people. Honesty wins," Trump wrote on Thursday morning after more than 300 news publications across the country joined hands to defend a free press and denounce his attacks on the news media. The project was spearheaded by staff members of the editorial page at the Boston Globe, who wrote, "This relentless assault on the free press has dangerous consequences. We asked editorial boards from around the country, liberal and conservative, large and small, to join us today to address this fundamental threat in their own words." What followed was an across-the-nation denunciation of the president, even as he tweeted, "The fake news media is the opposition party. It is very bad for our great country." The Globe editorialists maintained that the coordinated editorial project is not against the Trump administration's agenda, but a response to put us into the public discourse and defend the First Amendment, while calling attention to a president who has called journalists sick, disgusting, and among the most dishonest human beings on earth, even as his supporters have intimated them at campaign rallies, and the White House has blacklisted critics. But Trump was unrepentant about the confrontation, going on to accuse the Globe and the New York Times of colluding to attack him. The Boston Globe, which was sold to the failing New York Times for $1.3 billion, plus $800 million in losses. Now the Globe is in collusion with other papers on free press. "Prove it," he tweeted. The firestorm involving the media came after Trump scorched former U.S. intelligence honchos, revoking the security clearance of John Brennan, a CIA director under President Obama, and announcing he was reviewing that of James Clapper and Michael Hayden among other officials. All of them have been trenchant Trump critics, and Brennan in particular has been a thorn in the president's side, each tweet of his a stinging smackdown of the president. After Trump called his former aide Omarosa a dog earlier this week, Brennan tweeted, "It's astounding how often you fail to live up to minimum standards of decency, civility. Seems like you will never understand what it means to be president, nor what it takes to be a good, decent. So disheartening, so dangerous for our nation." But the White House announcement on the security revocation clearly indicated that Trump had decided to act some 3 weeks ago against the former intelligence honchos, all of who are in line with their community's broad conclusion that Russia interfered in the U.S. election to help Trump win. Trump and his supporters believe they are part of a deep state that wants to undermine and delegitimize his electoral win and his presidency. In a Wall Street Journal interview on Thursday, Trump made no secret of the fact that he revoked Brennan's security clearance because of his alleged role in triggering the Russia investigation. "I call it the rigged witch hunt. It is a sham. And these people led it," Trump told the Journal. "So I think the security revocation is something that had to be done," related Joyville. By Shaporji Polongicalindia.com. Fit Health Daily. Paul Hypine Spot Up. Keep calm. Marital spats can be bad for your health as newspapers hit back at Trump. Defend free press. Dave, whose father set him on fire in 1983, dies at 42.